Hello, friends. I am Chevee. Welcome to my shed. How are you today? How's life in your world? How's things where you are? Hope it's fantastic. Here is better. Today is much better than it has been, but I have like a this feeling like I have a hair in my throat, and it's making me cough and gag all day. So that's terrible, and I still have a lot of drainage, but that's not the point. I actually have something I wanted to talk about today. Something I've been wanting to talk about. I completely forgot to talk about it, but today I got some reminders. I did a thing. I experimented a thing, and I didn't tell you about it. I've experimented a few things recently, and I have told you about, and we need to revisit those. The joining the survey program Prolific and putting my video on one of those re-hosting services. But this other thing I did, I just wanted to see what would happen. I have long since believed that about half the views I get on videos. So if this video is published today, I will get about 30 views. I think about half of those are fake. I think about 15 to 20 views are just bots that are scraping, YouTube or whatever. And I can kind of prove that. Because if I miss posting on Twitter and Facebook, the video gets about half of the views. If I post on those two sites, I immediately get more views. And maybe some of that is organic traffic. Maybe some of that is people actually clicking on the video. But I know from the past that if I would publish a Google Doc, like I used to write rules and then put them on Twitter for people to proofread. As soon as I would post that to Twitter, immediately always seven people would jump right in. And none of those were real people. And they were all just bots. And I think that's happening here. And I think a lot of my views are fake. So I wanted to know, not necessarily how much these videos are scraped, but just general curiosity. Are they being scraped? Is there a bot that's scraping my YouTube and looking for information? And the conclusive answer is yes. I don't really have data to show you or prove that. But what I did, up until about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, I don't know, it's been a little while now. If you wanted to reach me from a YouTube video, if you looked into my description, you would find my Twitter, my Instagram, my website, thedailyshed.com, maybe even cheveedodd.com, and the phone number to the voicemail that I have set up for this particular use. And those never got anything. I mean, I'll get a call every now and then if I ask you to call me because my Google Voice number is going to die. Otherwise, nobody ever calls that phone number. It's now published on 1,600 and some videos, and nobody calls it organically. It doesn't get spam calls. It doesn't get anything. Nobody's calling that phone number. And I also realize that a lot of you who want to get in contact with me, because I don't publish any other contact information down there, you'll find one of my websites and use the contact form on my website to reach out to me. I decided, screw that. And about 6 weeks ago, or I don't know, it's been a while now. I started publishing my email in that drop down. So if you look down there, I think it's the Chevee@thedailyshed.com email. Is now listed in my video's description. And immediately, I published the first video, hit publish. Immediately, I started getting spam emails. Like that evening, is within hours of that video going live, suddenly just dozens of spam emails hitting my inbox. And I've left it alone. Like, I don't care. I don't use that email for much at all. A couple of you have emailed me through that email, and I do monitor it. I look to see if there's anybody important in there. Or any messages come through in there. And every now and then, I just got one last night that actually, or maybe it was earlier this morning, I don't know. But I got one from a regular viewer that was nice, to know that somehow But it was just a curiosity. Like it's such a weird world that we live in where so many people have tied their personal worth or their personal valuation to view counts and likes and retweets and subscriptions, and how much of that is actual traffic. It's not a lot. Maybe if you're a YouTuber that's producing great content that it's highly organically shared, yes, you're getting a lot of actual people. But I think that if you're just a normal person posting on Instagram, I think a lot of the traffic, or a normal person posting on Twitter, you're getting a lot of hits that are just scraping. They're just, looking for exploitable information, like email addresses. But it's really interesting that not phone numbers. It's really interesting that that phone number has never been added to any sort of spam phone number list. And maybe it's because I use I don't use dashes, I use dots, and I just always aesthetically liked dots better than dashes. I think it looks cleaner, and so that's how I've always done it, like on business cards and stuff. But maybe that's not what bots are looking for, because it's not recognized as a phone number. I don't know. Maybe one day I'll change it just to see what happens, but I don't really feel like having that phone number become unusable. I do use it sometimes, like if there's a 0% chance I'll answer my phone. And if I'm in contact with somebody that I actually want to talk to, I will give them that Google Voice number, because I know nobody's going to call that Google Voice number. And so if that Google Voice number rings within, I'm expecting a call from them in a week. If a week later that Google Voice number rings, I answer it, because I'm assuming it's them, because there's not really, it gets zero traffic otherwise. So I will use it from time to time for that sort of thing. But yeah, I thought that was an interesting little experiment, and my email it's died down a little bit, and the reason I remembered it is because in addition to getting one of your emails last night or this morning, I also got like 5 others within them, so it's being scraped for sure. How much of my traffic is organic? Not a lot, not very, very little. Very few of you have been here. The regulars. That's who's watching these videos. It's not, nobody else is, nobody's stumbling upon this. Just bots. We're all just bots at this point. Is there any denying it? Anyway, there. Maybe soon we'll talk about Prolific and the other thing. I've already forgotten the name of the service that I sold one video to. Thank you for being here as always. Thank you for liking, commenting, subscribing, being amazing friends, wonderful people. I really appreciate you. And I'll see you again tomorrow. Today's word you should know to sound smart is metalism. It is a noun meaning the belief that money must either be made of precious metal or backed by precious metal held in reserve, usually gold or silver. Richard Nixon abolished the gold standard for U.S. currency, and metalism declined as a result. Metalism, M-E-T-A-L-L-I-S-M. I would have thought maybe it was some sort of religion. Like some metal worshipping cult.